locked you in denial. Shouldn't have let receipts, now I got you on fire. Shit might get released when you walk down the aisle. Expose who you are beneath that fake ass smile. A couple songs about you when I told the truth through and through. Never name drop, you guilty if you assume it's you. From laying under covers to staying under your skin. I know exactly what it was, fuck what it is. Stay thinking out loud and think about how the vibe changed quicker than a million miles an hour. I felt bad for whatever I said, but whatever's dead, I hope I see you never again. It could have been me in the suit, but you had your cake and you eating it too. Fuck, you never thought you'd go back on your word. Broken promises sent me back down to earth. Black down on the curb, guess time heals all, accept this. Cut deep enough to leave me infected. I fell victim to all those intentions. Because of you I can't make a connection, everybody in question. You always look good when shit was looking bad. Looking back, it had me trusting somebody I probably shouldn't have. PTSD from falling and hitting rock bottom with nothing there to cushion that. Last time you reached out, I ain't read the message. Leave it to karma to respond when you least expect it. Everything I said, I felt the need to mention. When facts seem offensive, it's hard to ease attention. I'm just thinking out loud and think about how the vibe changed quicker than a million miles an hour. I felt bad for whatever I said, but whatever's dead, I hope I see you never again. It could have been me in the suit, but you had your cake and you eating it too. Fuck, you never thought you'd go back on your word. Broken promises sent me back down to earth. Black down on the curb, guess time heals all, accept this. Cut deep enough to leave me infected. I fell victim to all those intentions. Because of you I can't make a connection, everybody in question.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you live. Hopefully you're all doing really well. We are live again. Yeah, good afternoon. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, for me at least. So, how's everyone been today? Hopefully good. What a day. It's been a long day, and I feel like I haven't done anything yet. But I did do stuff, so, yeah. Alright, anyways, we started doing some Vue stuff this morning, but I had to go teach, so I had to stop, and then I had to come home and sleep again. So, we are back. Alright, give me just a second. I gotta, take the top off this coffee thing because, listen, this coffee thing that I got, it keeps coffee warm for, 20 hours, which is great. But it's not great because it makes the coffee, really, 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 really hot. And, I go to sip it and I burn, every part of my mouth. So, give me just a second. Problem is, I gotta find, a happy medium coffee mug. Something that's, not, oh, it's gonna make the coffee hot for, 20 hours. But, it's just something like a desk mug. I need to make a Sika player mug. That would rock. I should do that. I don't know why I haven't done that. I haven't found, I've never, thought of doing, merch or anything like that, but I kind of wouldn't mind having some stuff for myself, with my logo on it. It'd be kind of cool, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so, there we go. Alright. We should be good. Please, God, don't fall on my Mac. Alright, thank you. That would be bad. Although I have Mac, coverage, but still. I'm sure they would replace all that. Alright, so we were making, let me pull up that page. Is this it? Okay, that's the tutorial. So that's over there. I'm trying to get rid of some of these. Here we go. So this is what we currently have right now. This is our SPA. So we just got to kind of continue with that. Alright, let's see. Sorry about that. My Siri likes to kick in on my phone and then immediately kick in on my Apple Watch, so it actually cancels out my phone. It's really hard because you can't distinguish which one you want to use. Like if it's your watch, you can't say like, hey, iWatch version. You know what I mean? So, alright, anyways, let's get right into it. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Alright, cool. Here we go. So, what we're gonna do is that page. I wonder how that works though with the active page. V4 in pages. So we have page. And then we're doing page.link URL. Click prevent active page equals index. Active page equals index. Oh, okay, so we're just setting it to what it is. But where is key is index? Link URL. I think I sort of understand how that works. Alright, so let me pause that, and then we're coming over to here. Ah, another ad, of course. Alright, give me a minute.
Content or updating content. A lot of times we want to change or update the style that is applied to HTML elements. Like for example, Bootstrap gives us a class called active for our nav links so that we can signify to the user that the home link or the about link or the contact link is active. It's just a visual cue that we can provide the user. And as it is right now, we aren't using that class because when we look at our markup, all we have specified is the nav link class for these links. What we want to do is include active, but only when the active page is equal to the index of a given page. So we need to be able to add some kind of conditional statement. Okay. So that if the active page is equal to the index, then we would use the active class. You know, if we were going to use the ternary expression, it would look something like that. Well, we can do this very simply by using vbind, but I'm going to use the shorthand on the class. Now, this is going to look a little weird because not only do we use the class attribute, this is the HTML class attribute, but we are also going to use the vbind directive on class. So you can think of this as I want to apply these CSS classes always to the element by using the HTML class attribute. And then for classes that you want to apply conditionally, you'll use the vbind. So the syntax for this is going to look a little weird because we don't use ternary expressions or anything like that. Instead, what we have is an object. And the properties of these objects are the CSS classes that we want to apply to this element. So in this case, we want to apply the active class, and the value is going to be our condition statement. So we want to apply the active class when the active page is equal to the index of this given page. So let's just take a look at this syntax again, because as I said, this looks a little weird, especially when you are expecting to use an if statement or a ternary or something like that. So we are using the vbind directive on the class, and we are providing an object where the property is the CSS class that we want to apply to the element. And then the value of that property is the conditional statement that will determine if that CSS class is applied. So with that done, we can go to the browser, we can refresh our page, and you can automatically see it's a little difficult to tell due to the styling here, but you can see that home is a little bit darker than about and contact. Whenever we click on about, again, it's a little
I'm
bit
not
darker.
seeing that
When
being
we click on
added.
contact, it's a little bit darker. Now we can make this.
Let's see. Did I do that right? Because active page is equal to index. Save. But I don't think that's working. Oh, okay. I didn't press that, but that's cool. Hold on.
Much more apparent, at least in my opinion, if we change it to a dark navbar. So I'm going to change the CSS classes from navbar light and BG light to navbar dark and BG dark. If we refresh the page, now we can definitely see that home is active. If we click on about, if we click on contact, we can see that those are active. And we can inspect these elements and we can actually see the HTML automatically update. So here is the A element. We have the class
right
of
there.
nav, link, and active. So
I see
keep
it
your
now.
eye on that.
I think I just had to
Whenever
refresh
click
the
on
page
home,
too.
it's going to automatically update the CSS classes so that active is no longer applied to the link for contact. But if we take a look at the link for home, well, there it is right there. So this gives me an idea. I want to be able to toggle the navbar from light to dark. So let's do that. We know how to do that now that we can bind CSS classes, but we do need to be able to track if we are displaying a light background or a dark background. So let's add another data property and let's just call this use dark navbar. So of course, if this is true, then the navbar will be dark. If it's false, then it will be light. Let's initialize it as false. And this means that we are going to modify our HTML class attributes. That's another data property. And if this is true, then the navbar will be dark. If it's false.
Oh, that's why. I can already see the issue. There we go.
Then it will be light. Let's initialize it as false. And this means that we are going to modify our HTML class attributes so that we aren't applying the navbar light and BG light. Instead, we want to dynamically apply the appropriate classes based upon the value of this use dark navbar. So once again, we are going to vbind the class. We're going to pass in an object. Things are going to get a little bit tricky here because the CSS classes that we want to apply use hyphens, which are not valid in JavaScript identifiers. However, we can use a string as a property name. We can also apply multiple classes at the same time so that it looks like this. So that we want to apply navbar light and BG light when use dark navbar is false. And then we essentially want to do the same thing for the dark version, but when use navbar is true. So once again, we will change.
Okay, so we're doing navbar. Okay, so we're doing. Are we separating those? Yes. Okay, so we're doing navbar light, save, and then we're doing light, and then that is use dark navbar. Okay, I think that makes sense. Alright, navbar light, BG light, don't use navbar. Alright, comma, navbar, okay. Oh, I'm doing something wrong. Doesn't like that. Navbar light, BG light, colon, comma, navbar dark, bg dark, colon, use navbar. Oh, I can already see the issue right there, and save. Okay. All right, so if I come over here, and then I change this to true. There we go. Beautiful. That's actually kind of cool. I like that.
These values to navbar dark and bg dark. So this looks even weirder than before. So let's just take a brief moment to talk about this syntax. So once again, we are binding our classes, but since these classes use hyphens in their name, we can't use these as normal JavaScript identifiers. So our property name is denoted with a string. We're using two CSS classes separated by a space as the property name inside of the string.
And that means you could use technically like 3 of them if you wanted to.
Not to use dark navbar. So when that's false, we use the light classes. When it's true, we use the dark classes. So with that in place, all we need is a button to click on so that we can toggle those classes. So
oh my
I'm going
gosh,
to add
hot.
a form after the
Damn.
unordered list of our navbar links. Let's add a class of deflex. And inside of this form, we will have just a simple button. Let's go ahead and set up the CSS classes so that we...
Okay, give me a second. All right, so we're doing form, class, deflex. Okay, then in there we're doing a button. All right, and then
make this blend in with Bootstrap. So we will use the button class. Let's also use button primary. We don't really need to specify the type, but we do need to handle the click event. So let's do that with @click. Let's go ahead and prevent the default. Since this is inside of a form, off the top of my head, I don't know what the default action would be. So it doesn't hurt to add the prevent modifier to this event. And what we want to do is change the value of use dark navbar so that it is equal to its opposite. And with that simple change, we can go back to the browser. We can refresh the page. The default is to show the light bar. Oh, it would be useful to have some text, wouldn't it? Let's say toggle navbar. So now let's refresh. The default is the light background. If we click on the toggle navbar, that should change it to the dark. And
that's pretty cool.
The active class is being properly applied. Let's toggle back to the light navbar. Once again, the active class is properly applied and everything works as it should. Now let's do this. Let's make sure that it's going to work if we set the default value for use dark navbar as true. And of course it will. We wrote this. So there it is.
Damn, that's quite confident, fella.
To true, our navbar is now dark. Everything else still works the same. We can toggle this
cool,
to
though.
the light, but I think personally I like the dark. So I'm going to leave it like that. In the previous lesson, you learned about one of the ways that you can bind CSS classes to an element.
Nice.
And yes, I said one of the ways, because when it comes to working with style...
Give me a second, guys. All right, cool. I'll be right back. Give me a minute.
I'ma keep winning.
Okay, cool. Be right back.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. I came this far, nothing can stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose. You may wanna set yourself. I think it's best you run away. I won't let you finish. You came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help. It's a shame that nobody will hit me. No pain, no gain. Watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot, you better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this. I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Man, I think I got like a cold coming or something. Keep sneezing. Okay, cool. So we were able to figure out how to get that toggle to work. That's actually pretty cool. Like, I could see some definitely good uses for altering a CSS class that way. For sure. Hold on. Dude, I don't know what it is today, but my eyes are dried right now. I've tried eye drops, I've tried gel drops. Nothing's helping. I think it's just staring at monitors for hours on hours. It's killing my eyes. Thank you, Gunner Optics. I appreciate it. I should go buy some of those Gunner Optic, the actual good ones there. Like, these are not bad. They block blue light, but there's the other ones that are supposedly better. I don't even know how much Gunner Optics costs these days. It's been an alum, and it said purchase from them. Gunner Optics. Are they even the best anymore? I heard there was a few other companies that have come out. Dude, these are really nice, though. If you guys haven't tried them, they're really good. Prescription gaming. Yeah, these right here, these lenses. I don't even know what to get though. I have Shade Dogs on right now. I love Shade Dogs. They're really nice. I wonder if they make Shade Dogs. I think. No, those aren't the same. Actually, these are pretty close to what I'm using. Do they still sell those? Ah, they do right here. Shade Dogs. Nice. Damn, they're still 80 something bucks. Oh my god, Gunner, man. That's crazy. These Phantom ones look really nice, though. Phantoms. Are these the MLG edition? Those do look kind of cool, though. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of thick frames like that. But they're not bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's kind of cool. Viper. I don't know. They sell them at the store over here. Like, these look pretty cool. I wonder if they still sell those MLG editions. These look kind of cool. Ooh, I like these. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's pretty neat. I'd probably just get Shade Dogs like I have right now. I really do like Shade Dogs. They're really good. But, alright, anyways, sorry. Let's get back to it. Alright, where are we at?
In Vue, you can apply style in a variety of different ways. In the previous lesson, we used an object where the properties were the CSS classes that we wanted to apply, and then their values were a conditional expression that determines whether or not those classes are actually applied to the element. In the next lesson, we will look at how to use arrays. Now, in this lesson, I want to focus on this expression because while it works, I'd make the argument that it's not the easiest to quickly read and understand what's going on. Instead, what I want to do is extract this out into an object that we would then just reference here. So we could call it navbar classes. And that makes it a lot easier. As we are skimming through this, we could see, okay, navbar classes are being applied. And then later on, we can look at the actual detail inside of our code. So you might think that we would need to define this navbar classes object in our data. And yes, we can technically do that, but it's not going to behave the way that we expect it to. In fact, it's not going to work at all. But let's look at it not working and talk about why it doesn't work, and then we will look at how we can make it work. So the first thing I want to do is essentially turn this from 2 lines of code into 4 lines, because I personally think it's a lot easier to read and understand if we do something like this, so that each individual property is its own each individual CSS class. It's just my preference, but I don't mind writing extra lines of code if it means that I don't have to come back to it in 3 months and think, what am I doing here? Oh yeah. So this is...
Okay. So navbar classes. Okay, and then we just get rid of these, right? And then we're doing navbar light. Okay, so they're doing... That's interesting. Alright, navbar light, use dark mode. Navbar dark. Okay, so they're doing navbar light. And then it's BG light. So I just gotta take that off. Let's see. Okay. Alright. And then dark. Okay, and then okay, so we have that, and then Wait, what's this go to? Return. Oh, okay, that makes sense, right? No, wait. That doesn't make sense. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, doesn't all that have to be in the return? Alright, and then we need navbar dark. Okay. Save. Alright, perfect. Looks good. Navbar light. BG light. Okay, perfect.
Is our object. Now, because we are inside of JavaScript now, we are not inside of our template, we do have to adhere to the rules of JavaScript syntax. This use dark navbar isn't just a variable, it's a property inside of our application because, well, here it is. It's defined right here inside of this object. So we need to say this dot use dark navbar. And so that is going to be fine. We can save this, we can go to the browser, we can refresh, and whenever we click on toggle, nothing happens. Now, it's not because that there's an error. We can pull up the console and we aren't going to see any errors at all. We will see this warning, and the only reason why we are getting this is because this script is inside of the body tag, and we've created a Vue app that's mounted to the body. So we can see that this is being ignored, so that's fine. We don't care about that. But as I click on the toggle button, there are no errors appearing in the console. So it's not working because there's an error. It's not working because we used our use dark navbar property. Because this code is initializing our application's data. It's not setting it up to be reactive or anything like that. It is simply initializing all of the values for these properties. So that means whenever the code executes to create this navbar classes object, it is using the actual value of use dark navbar, but it would essentially be translated into this so that it would be not false. And the next line will be not false, which of course is true. And then for navbar dark, that would be false, and so on and so forth. So these are the actual Boolean values that are being applied to these properties. And so there's nothing that Vue thinks that it needs to react to. Inside of the browser, whenever we click on the toggle button, the use dark navbar property is changing, but that's not the problem. The problem is that the actual Boolean value is being applied to these properties. So the way that we can get around this is by using what's called a computed property. It is simply a property that is evaluated on the fly. And we create computed properties by using the computed option. So we have an option called data, which is what we've been using thus far. Now we are going to use the computed option. This is another object where the properties are functions that will execute. So this is where we will define our navbar classes, but this is going to be a function because this is a computed property. It has to execute in order to generate its value. And all we need to do then is essentially lift this code from our data, and we want to return that inside of this computed property. So the way that this works now is behind the scenes, Vue knows that use dark navbar is something that it has to react to. And because we are using it inside of this computed property, it will then automatically compute this value whenever use dark navbar changes. So we can go back to the browser now. Let's refresh the page. And whenever we click on toggle, we see that that functionality is back. So because we click on this button, it changes the value of use dark navbar. And because we used use dark navbar inside of this computed property called navbar classes, it will automatically recompute this property. It essentially calls that function to compute it. It returns the object that is then used to bind to the class on our nav. Now, in the next lesson, we are going to look at how we can bind CSS classes using an array and how we can get the same functionality without using a computer.
Cole, he's
All
my
right. We're learning. I was a little confused there on how that was working, but now you get it.
In the previous lesson, I introduced you to computed properties, which are, well,
Alright, give me a second. Alright, cool. Give me a sec. God, it's crazy how hot, like, crazy hot that coffee is. It wouldn't be bad if it wasn't, like, butchering hot, but fortunately it is. It's okay. Alright, let's see. Okay, perfect. Oh, wait, when did Tim follow? Oh, I didn't realize that. Was that today? Oh, damn. Hold on. Nice. That's cool. Well, Tim, thank you. I don't know when you followed, but... When was that? Is it show? Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it was 10 hours ago. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. That's awesome. How's the Vue.js journey going? It's going. Slow, but it's going. But, yeah. So far, so good. Alright, cool. Back to it. It's a little confusing, but I think I get it for the most part. Like, what we just did right here, I kind of get it, but... Well, I mean, I do get it, because, like, this is our nav bar right here, and then we created a binding class called navbar classes, which is our function, and then in here we're saying when that gets activated, do the following, and return these. And then this looks right here at each argument and says, hey, if it's this, then use that. If it's not, then use this. So, all right, never mind. I guess I do get it. Forget about what I just said. Apparently, I do understand.
they're properties that are processed or computed on the fly. And we used a computed property to simplify our template so that all we had to do was bind this navbar classes property, and that just happens to be a computed property whose return value changes.
I'll be so
based
glad when we get
upon the
into
value of used
composition
navbar.
API.
And that's all well and good. Computed properties are a wonderful feature, but we can also do the same thing without using computed properties. Because instead of using an object, we can use an array to bind classes. So the first thing we need to do is just define an array. And then the individual elements inside of that array will be the CSS classes that are applied to the element. So for example, if we wanted the dark navbar, we would have navbar dark as one element in the array, and then bg dark would be the other one. So we can hop on over to the browser, refresh, and voila, we have that functionality. But of course, if we click on the toggle button, that no longer works because we have hard-coded the dark CSS classes.
What am I doing wrong? Navbar. I'm getting an error on this, apparently. Navbar dark, right? BG dark. Okay, that's a little weird. Why is mine causing issues? That's weird. Navbar dark, comma. Oh, there we go. That's why. And then that doesn't work anymore.
To our navbar. Now, without writing really any extra code, we can get away with doing something like this, so that we would check the value of use dark navbar, and then we would have a ternary expression. So that
Yeah,
if
but
this
we
is
already wrote
true,
this.
then yes, we would use those dark classes. Otherwise, we would use the light classes. And I know that there's, other CSS classes that we need to apply. I'm going to be lazy and not apply them. All we need to see is that the background color will change. So let's refresh, let's toggle, and we have that functionality again. However, one can make the argument that our template could be a little bit cleaner. I mean, yes, this is fairly clean, but the more CSS classes we add, the more of a headache it's going to be to try to decipher all of this. Now, before we want to move on, I want to note that this expression is for just one element in the array. If we wanted to apply any other CSS classes and always apply them, like for example, navbar and navbar expand LG, we could do that just fine. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Why not? So just as a sanity check, let's go back to the browser. We will see the same functionality that we got before. All of the static CSS classes are still being applied because this would look very different, but we can still toggle between the light and the dark. But I want to do something.
Okay. Wait a minute. What am I missing here? I'm still missing something. BG light. Okay, and then he's doing, what's he doing? Nav bar. Right? Yeah, and then he's doing nav bar dash expand LG save. Is he doing that on one line? Yes. I think I'm doing that right. Am I? Use nav bar. Is more quickly to write code in Vue or React? That's a good question. I don't really know. That's, I don't really have an answer for that because I'm not a developer, or I wasn't really like a React developer. You know what I mean? That's a good question. And I haven't really messed around with Vue in a project yet, really, so I really don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. I want to, but I don't.
Not necessarily fancier, but it would be cool to do something like this, to where we would have our individual elements, but then we would have like a theme property. And then we would change the value of that theme so that the navbar and the background colors would change based upon that theme. But of course, everything else would be fine. Now, this gets us away from using this could do something on colors. This.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, it was moving a little too fast there. So it'd be theme, and then comma, bg dash theme, and then comma, and it'd be navbar, comma, and then it'd be navbar dash expand LG save.
This gets us away from using this computed property. So let's go ahead and delete that. This also gets us away from using this use dark navbar. Instead, we would have a property called theme to where we could initialize it as light or dark. Really doesn't matter.
Hold on. What am I doing here? Computed. Okay, and then we're getting rid of this.
Let's go ahead and let's start with.
Oh my god. Alright, hold on. Theme is light. Save.
Initialize it as light or dark. Really doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and let's start with light. Let's refresh. Ooh, there's an error somewhere. It's probably a syntax error. And there it is right here inside of my template. I need to have that closing backtick. So let's go back. Let's refresh.
Oh yeah, I gotta remember that. Do I have that on there? I do. But do we want it on
So I need to
each thing?
have that closing.
We do. Okay. Oh, I see. I gotta put on each and every one of them. Okay. And then, do those have backticks or no? They don't. Okay, perfect. So, should be good. All right.
Backtick. So let's go back. Let's refresh. It looks like a light nav bar. If we change theme to dark, you will see the dark nav bar. There we go.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Oh, because the word dark. Okay. I was like, where's it getting the code? Never mind. Okay. That went over my head. I
So
got
now
it.
we just need to write the code that's going to change the value of theme. Now we can do that like we've done for the use dark navbar property, in that whenever we click on the toggle button, we could do something like this, to where we will assign a new value of theme based upon what its current value is. So that if theme is light, then we want to change its value to dark. Otherwise, it's going to be light. And that is going to give us the functionality that we are after. However, once again, I would make the argument that this complicates our templates.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so click at theme equals theme is equal to light dark theme, right? Hold on. Theme equals theme equal to light and go dark. Else light. And then get rid of this. Save. There we go. But couldn't we do this much quicker with, hold on, theme? Couldn't we just take the current theme and then alter it based on the click?
Now we have to decipher that. Wouldn't it be cool then if we could just have like a function that would execute? Because in a real world application, that's typically what we would do to begin with. So we could have a function called change theme that we would call whenever the button is clicked. So let's do that. We just need to add a method to our application, and we do so by using another option. It's called methods. And inside of the methods object are all of the methods that we want to define. So in this case, we will have the change theme method. Let's start by creating a local variable. We will initialize it as light, and then we will check the current value of our theme.
Whoa, okay, hold up. Okay. Let theme equal light. And then we're doing if this dot theme is equal. I'm assuming he's gonna say theme, or not equal to theme. Then we're gonna do theme equals return theme equals dark save. I think that's what he's gonna do. I could be wrong though.
Theme property. If it's light, then we are going to set that theme variable to dark. Otherwise, the current.
But we already have the theme set to light, so why? Okay. All right, equal to light. And then if not, we'll just do theme equals dark. Theme equals dark save.
Current value of theme is dark, and we already have light assigned to theme, so that The final line of this method is simply going to define our theme property, the value of the theme variable. So let's go to the browser. Let's refresh the page. Let's click on toggle, and we see that we have the same functionality. And of course, we can change the value of theme from dark to light so that the nav bar will start off as light. And then whenever we click on toggle, it toggles it to dark. So one thing you're going to find, not necessarily with Vue, but just any framework at all, because all of these frameworks are based upon JavaScript. And when it comes to JavaScript, you can accomplish the same thing in a variety of different ways. Just like here, we have accomplished the ability to toggle our navbar's theme in 3 different ways. We've used computed properties. We are now using arrays and methods. And then we had an approach that didn't have anything. We just had a somewhat complex expression inside of our template. And so just like JavaScript, where we have several different ways that we can do the same thing, just because we have different ways doesn't necessarily mean that one way is better than another. It's all going to boil down to the situation and what makes most sense to you. Our application is very simple, but it's also becoming a little unruly because we have all of this code just kind of thrown together. And if we took the time to study this application, we would essentially find 2 distinct pieces. We would have the nav bar, and then we would have the content. And if you'll remember, whenever we started this journey in Vue, we essentially separated those 2.
Give me a second. Cool. All right. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Alright, let's see. What part are we on now? Introducing components. Oh, good. We're doing components. Man, I can't believe it's like a 4-hour tutorial. It's crazy. And we're only an hour in. There's like 3 hours worth of content to go through. It's a lot. But it's good to like learn all this stuff, you know. I don't know if this really makes sense for what I looked up. Let's see. Okay, if I bring that over here. Okay, perfect. Alright, give me a second. Let me pause this. Alright, cool. Back to it. Here we go.
Two things. We had two Vue applications, one for the navbar and one for the content. In reality, it really doesn't make sense to have two separate applications because they are related in some way. They are using the same data, at least as far as the active page and the pages. Now, however, theme and the changed theme items are specific to the navbar. So it still does make sense to separate these two pieces, but we don't want to create different applications. Instead, we will use what are called components. And you can think of a component kind of like a little mini application inside of a larger application. It's so that we can make our applications easier to write and maintain, but it's also so that we can extract functionality into a smaller piece that is specific for that functionality. Like, for example, the navbar can be its own component, and it would be responsible for doing whatever the navbar does and only what the navbar does. So in this lesson, we are going to create a component for displaying the page information, because this will give us the opportunity to talk about a lot of the fundamentals, so that in the next lesson, whenever we create a component for the navbar, we can go into some more complex topics. So we want to create a component for our content. The first thing we need to do is create a variable for our application, because we need to reference our application in order to create a component. And we need to do that before we mount this. So we're going to separate these into two statements so that we create our app and then we will mount our app. And before we mount...
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Mount the app, we want to create our component, and we do so with a method called component. The first argument that we pass is a string name for our component. Now, there are some conventions that we need to follow here. It needs to be lowercase, and if it's just a simple word like page, then, well, we just call it page. It also helps to not be an actual HTML element as well. But this is something I would call page content or page viewer. So if you have multiple words, then you will want to separate them with a hyphen or a dash. Now, the second argument that we pass to component is an options object. So all of the ideas and concepts we've talked about thus far, such as data, computed properties, methods, all of those are options. All of those can be used inside of a component. And the option that we are going to...
Hey, Chi, how's it going? Dropping in that lurk. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Hey, dude, did you manage to sort out the to-dos thing? No. No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Start off with is called template. Because remember, an application needs a template, and as I mentioned, a component is kind of a little mini application inside of our larger application. So we're going to take the markup that we have for displaying our content. Let's take that out of the body, and we're going to use that as the template for this component.
Oh, okay, so we grab the container. Bam. And then we're putting that in template. Oh, I cannot wait to get to composition. Alright, so we need to... Oh, this does not look good at all. Alright. Then we're going to take this. Go in there. Go in there. Save. I think that makes sense. Page viewer. Okay, and then we have that. Template. Am I missing anything? Nope. Save. App.component. Page viewer. And then, okay.
Now, we don't necessarily need this ID attribute, so let's get rid of that. We haven't needed that for a while. And as it is right now, if we tried to use this, we would run into an error because this component is trying to use the pages from our application. And by default, it doesn't have access to that information because it is now inside of its own component. So for right now, let's get rid of where we are outputting this data. And let's just have some placeholder text so that we have page title and then page content. And then...
Okay, I can do that. All right, so we gotta go page title. And then page content. Page content. Save. Okay, we still don't have anything. Yeah, but we still haven't rendered it on the page up here. I think we're going to do that by going page viewer, but we don't need a save. I think that's the way to do it. Yep, there we go. No worries. Sometimes the best feelings come from when you learn something that has caused a lot of frustration. Yeah, I think I just said, you know what? Well, the problem was with that project, I tried to jump ahead a little too fast in Vue, and I kind of was like, wait, maybe we need to step back, understand what we're doing in Vue, and then try to do a project. Because I didn't really go through the entire course on components or composition API, and it just got really confusing because we're talking about like references, and I didn't know what they were, and it just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think once I get through this tutorial, it'll be better. Because I really don't know anything about state management or anything like that with Vue. So, yeah, I just was like, you know what, maybe we should just step back a little bit. So, that's what we're doing right now. The documentation and official tutorial is pretty good, too. Oh, I didn't know they had an official tutorial, really. That's pretty good. I'll have to check it out. All right.
Then we will use this component inside of our application, and we do so as a normal HTML element, except that it's not HTML.
Body.
This is a Vue component. So we have an opening and closing tag, and whenever we go to the browser, let's refresh the page, and we will see page title and page content. So that's working just fine. So now we need to supply information for the page viewer to do its thing. It is responsible for displaying the page title and content. So we need to pass.
I'm a little confused here. So, what? Okay, so this is my component, right? On his video, this is his component. Look, he's got closing brackets. Or can you do that? Or I thought the correct way to do a component was this with self-closing tag. Is that accurate or is he off? And it's somehow rendering that. I don't know, what would happen if I tried that? That's weird. Save. Would that even work? It does. It's the same, I guess? Huh. Alright, I didn't know that. Well, I'm gonna keep it like this. Finally made it. Add. Ah. Also add. Rip. Welcome to Twitch. Oh, man. Wait a minute. What happened? Oh, hey, thank you for the follow. Oh god, I'm bad at usernames. Maven. Am I saying that right? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's see. Are you back yet? Let me know when you're back. Let's see. But yeah, thank you again for that follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, it must be the same though, right? Because his is closing, but mine's not. It's a self-closing. So I wonder if it's some kind of like option where you can do it with a self-closing tag, but you can also template it or have a closing tag as well. That's interesting. I'll have to look into that. All right, let's see. And then wait, are you back yet though? Yeah, when you're back, let me know. And okay, you're back. Oh, okay, cool. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I'm just going over this tutorial thing. It's a 4-hour tutorial on Vue, but we're only like 55 minutes in, so there's still a lot to do.
Pass data, kind of like we would pass data to a function, except that in Vue, we use the term props. So a component has props that we pass data to. And we can pass data in two different ways. The first is going to look like just normal HTML attributes, except that they are going to be specific for these components. So we can say that we would have a prop called page title, which is just going to be a simple string. So we could have page title like that. And then we could also have page content. And once again, notice how I'm typing these out. They look like normal HTML attributes so that they are all lowercase. If they are multiple words, they are separated by hyphens. And we'll have page content here. And let's have something different so that whenever we view this in the browser, we will see the difference there. So we have these two props, and that's great, but it's not enough to just supply values to them. We have to define them inside of our component. So this is another option that we will specify, and it's simply called props. And it is an array that contains the name of the props, except that here we are going to use camel case. So we have page title and page content. So when it comes to our markup, we use what would be typical markup attributes. But when it comes to JavaScript, we use camel case. So now we can use page title and page content inside of our components template so that we will have page title and then page content. And whenever we refresh the page, we are going to see our title and content case. So now we can use...
Okay, hold on. Give me a second, and page content save. Did that work? No, it didn't. Wait, is it just single quotes? Maybe that's where I'm messing up. It's probably what it is. No, it's double. What am I doing wrong? Oh boy.
Use page title and page content inside of our components template so that we will have page title and then page content. And whenever we refresh the page...
Hold on, before I even go off that screen. Why is this not working? Page title, page content. It looks like the same as he's got. Then there's our props. Page title, comma, page content. Right. Okay, so what's the big deal? Is it these? It's got to be this right here, right? This got to be the problem. Because shouldn't this be... But he put a dash in his, didn't he? Or am I wrong? No, yeah, he has a dash in his.
When it comes to JavaScript...
So how's his working, but I'm not? Doesn't make sense. Oh, that's definitely not the Net Ninja. No, it's definitely not. By the way, why are they T? What do you mean? Why aren't you creating a node project? A node project? What do you mean? Why would it be a node project? This is learning Vue. And we're just doing, there wouldn't be any use for Node right now. Maybe down the line there would be use for Node, but yeah. This is the front end part, not the back end part, so. I always hate figuring out the problems. Yeah, right. The 2 in the page title and the 2 in the page content, maybe. To be honest, I have absolutely no idea. No, because it's just text. But this is what we're passing as attributes to the component. Page title, page content. That should work though. But it's not. What are we getting for an error? We're not getting any kind of error. Ooh, that's weird. Yeah, it's strange. Like if you look right here.
Script, we use camel case. So
See?
now we can
Page title, page component, and then he's going to replace those with a double bracket, and his is going to work. So, but that doesn't really make sense for, does he have a GitHub link? No, of course he doesn't. Hey, Kitty, how's it going? Hey, did you have any, I haven't checked, let's see. Today's my only day off, and I'm packed full of work already. Okay, sorry, I didn't see this earlier. Might need to add it to your path if you're on Windows. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that path directly to Windows. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense, and I didn't even think about that. See, that's what I love about Discord. Is if one person doesn't know how to do something, someone else does. But yeah, I never thought of that with the MySQL error you were getting. You know what I mean? Yeah. I never thought about the path. That would make sense. Oh, someone gave a solution? I didn't see that. Yeah, Josh did in Discord. So I didn't even think about this either. So sometimes when you install something via the CLI, you need to put it to your path inside of your, you know what I'm talking about? Like a ZA or whatever it's called. That way when you call that, it knows what to do. I think that would be something to look into. Yeah, because maybe the MySQL is just not environment variables. Thank you. Yes, I didn't even think about that until Josh mentioned that. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's that too. So look into that. That might be your solution. So, but let's see here. But yeah, maybe for Node, just kind of go back to your question there on Node. So Node would be like if I was using a database, right, and I wanted to connect data from my front end application to data in my back end. Whatchamacallit, I'm not doing that right now, so there's no need for Node. But Node would be good for if I was doing like a much larger project and I needed to control data back and forth. Then I would use Node for sure. I know, right? Discord. Here, I can. That way I don't have to hear it twice. Okay, perfect. But why? Hold on. I want to try something here because I got a feeling. I got a feeling this is how it's supposed to be. But I could be wrong. Well, you know, you can't do that, see? So that's not going to work either. Yeah, see? Not a number. Save. Wait a minute, not a number. Props. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Props. Page title, comma, page content. This doesn't make any sense. It should be a string, not a number. Right, exactly. And that's what he's got on his end, though. Okay, is there anyone here that knows Vue, that knows what's going on? Because this does not make any sense right now. This does not make any sense whatsoever. So let's go back up to our component, right? I can find out using AI, but I'd rather not. The only thing that's different is he's got that closing, he's got the, where the hell is it? Right here. He's got the closing tag, and that's the only difference. I don't think that's it, but I am curious. No, that was not it. Okay, perfect. I'm glad we got that out of the way. So we have page dash title equals page title 2. Does he have a comma up there? Maybe that's what I need to do. I don't think you need a comma, but let me add one. That might be it. No, that's not it. And it causes an error. So we have our component of page-viewer, page-title equals page title 2, page content equals page content 2. Okay, that's fine. And we're sending that in using the attributes down into here. And we're saying props, page title, these are the items we're passing in. And then we're displaying them. So what's the...
Use page title and then page content.
Yeah, he's got the
and
double
whenever
brackets
we
there.
Refresh the page, we are going to see our title and content change.
No, we're
based upon the
not.
data that we passed to those props. So this is the first way. We are passing just simple string value.
What am I missing? What's he got different than I do? There's literally no... Look. Here's what he's got. Right here. Page dash title equal... Oh, wait a minute. Do I have equals? Hold on. Do I have equals? And now I am getting an error. No, I'm not. Do I have the equals in there? I think I found... No, I do right there. Yeah. Page dash title equals page title 2. Page dash content equals page content 2. So there's literally no difference between his and mine. It does not make any sense. What? Yeah, I'll send the video. There it is. It is on 1 hour, 1 minute, and 40 seconds. But it doesn't make any sense. This is literally what he's got on that video. Page viewer, that's my component. And then I'm passing in 2 attributes. This is the text that I want to send to my component. And then down here, I'm setting up my properties. So why does his work, but mine does not? It does not make any sense. I don't get it. What changed? It doesn't make sense. And there's no errors either. What? Okay. This content is not rendering. It looks like this code snippet for a web page using handlebars, there's templating languages. This is with Vue. Okay. Let's see. What was your time at? I'm at 1:01, an hour and 1 second, or hour and 1 minute and 40 seconds. All right, let's see. My apologies for the confusion. This code is using Vue.js. The double curly braces are the syntax. Okay, yep. Based on the code you provided, it looks like this Vue component template. In order for this code to work, you will need to define a Vue component that includes this template. Okay, I did that already. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss that one part? Hold on. I think I know what's going on.
So title in camel.
App component. No, I gave that name right here. App.component, page, viewer, and then, hold on. Let me copy this part right here. This code, okay, hold on. The code I'm pasting is not rendering the H1 or P tag. All right, here we go. Let's see. The code you have provided defines a Vue component with a template that renders h1 heading and a p paragraph. If the h1 and p tags are not rendering, there are a few things that you can check. Make sure the component is being used in your application. You can do this by adding page-viewer tag to one of your application's templates. I've done that. Check the page title and page content props are being passed to the component. You can do this by inspecting the component in your browser developer console and checking the props that are being passed in. Okay, that might be a good one. Console. Let's see. What? Let's see. Component. There's page title right there. Interesting. Script page. There's the, yeah, it's passing it in. There it is right there. Weird. There's page viewer. Yeah, see, there's the attributes right there. What? There's nav. Div class. Wait, there's the tags right there. But nothing's rendering. Hold on, I'm gonna try something. Why isn't the H1 or P tag rendering text? The issue is your code. Okay, the issue with your code is that in the page-viewer component, the props are defined as page title and page content. But in the template, you are using page title and page content. Huh? Vue is case sensitive. What? Vue is so the props are not properly bound to the template. To fix this, you should update your page viewer component to use the correct case for props. Oh, is it the uppercase P's? Oh, does Vue not like uppercase P's? Oh, that might be it. Hold on. Yeah, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I mean, these are the same. See how that's uppercase? But I wonder if in Vue, they don't like... he said camel case, remember? In the video. I bet you they have to be camel case. I bet you that's what it is. Yep, that was it. That is stupid! Oh, wow. Okay. That's crazy. I didn't realize that. So, he did say camel case, to be fair. He did say. But I thought he meant that, because you know how some people choose to do camel case, but some people... Damn it. So everything was spelt correctly. The only difference is it was the capital letters in the beginning. So with Vue, when you're doing properties like that, you have got to use correct camel case. I did not realize that. That's great. Okay. Shit, well, we learned something new. You always do camel case. I know, I didn't even, to be fair, I didn't even see it until I was looking at it. Okay. Interesting. If it's a page viewer, it has to be the page title and page viewer. Let's see. I was looking at it. I was looking at that just before you read that. I would always do camel case in my opinion. It's a lot easier. Yeah, I don't know if that actually needed to be formatted like that. I don't know. Hey Don, how's it going? That's a good question. But either way. Alright, so let's just take a look at what happened here. I want to tell you how cool shit is nowadays with coding. I sat here, did not have the answer, right? And I'm sitting here trying all these different things out on my own. Granted, say I wasn't live and you guys weren't even here. And I'm sitting here going, oh my goodness, why isn't it rendering? I'm following this tutorial, what I do. I copied my code and then I pasted it right into this AI application, and it scanned it and it knew exactly why it wasn't working, and it gave me the answer to it. This is how cool shit is nowadays with technology that we've come to, where anybody, it's like having a coding teacher. It really is. Or it's like having a mentor there. It's like, hey, because, like, think of it if we were, like, years ago and I was like, oh, I'm trying to code something. I don't know how to do something. I would get a hold of, like, a mentor and go, hey, can you review my code? They would, and then they would go, hey, the reason this didn't work is because you use capital P's instead of camel case. Literally, AI has now taken that role. Now, granted, it's not always 1000% correct all the time. I'm sure it makes boo-boos, but for the most part, AI is extremely intelligent, and this is what I love about AI. Obviously, there's some scary shit to AI, but the good stuff about AI, this is it right here. It can help people learn without needing to go out there, try to find somebody to work with, or paying somebody for, their time. Which, you know what I mean? It's so cool that we have these tools now available us just in my code editor. So guys, if you have not checked out Codium, please check it out. I think I have a link for it. It is really good, and it's free of charge. They do not charge for it. They make their money through enterprise stuff. So I will definitely copy my link and send it out to you guys, because it is really good. Hold on. Yeah, check it out. It is really awesome. I cannot, tell you how good this stuff is. There we go, and then I think... There we go. Perfect. Yeah, but, like I said, guys, you definitely check it out. It's really cool. But, Don, how you been today, man? How's things going? Absolutely checking that out. Oh, it's amazing. Hands down, Codium is amazing. Listen, nothing that I have against, GitHub Copilot. It's cool, and they got some cool stuff coming out with it. I personally paid the $10, installed it, even got their beta stuff, and personally, in my opinion, I was honestly more happier with the free version of Codium. You know what I mean? So, but again, I'm not saying that means Copilot's bad or anything, but in my personal opinion, I like Codium better for right now. I spent 2 hours with PayPal customer service. Ooh, they're worse than Xfinity. I don't know, man. That's a pretty big thing to say. That's a pretty big statement. They're the most worst places, honestly. Yeah. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Just I got this morning, went to the gym, taught, and then came home, took a nap, got up, went grocery shopping for the week, came home, ate lunch. Now we're coding. And then soon here I gotta stop and go back to the gym and teach again and get a workout in for the night. But other than that, pretty good. It's been going pretty good. So, it's been a pretty productive day. But, so far so good. It's kind of weird because, I didn't work today and I was like, I wonder what this would be like if this was my job. Stream and code all day. I would get up, sleep in, and then I would wake up and then go live after I get my coffee. But, yeah. How was your day today? Was it good? Hopefully it was good. Let's see here. But yeah, guys, definitely check out Codium. It's really good. I would highly suggest it. It's really good stuff. What have you been up to today? Other than PayPal issues. Seriously, what is up with that? I log into my PayPal every so often, and I mean, it's just to make sure I could still log in. So, but I think I still have $2 sitting in there. I can't remember. I think I bought, what was it? Oh yeah, I remember. I had $10 in there for a referral thing that someone got through me, and they paid me via PayPal, and I think I ended up buying League of Legends points. You know how you can buy skins in League of Legends? Yeah, I used that money to buy skins. So I was like, alright, cool. Why not? So it was just it's been sitting there for the longest time. So, but yeah, I like things like Stripe's good. I like Stripe. I'm wondering if we'll get like some kind of ads. Ugh, sorry. I'm a much bigger fan of Stripe. Oh yeah. I'll be right back.
Don't work too hard, my break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back, bro. All I really take is a little taste. Island girl, blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser. Wanna vibe at a getaway. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, I got the semi-fold weight. Don't step out the line like this a probate. You hit the line and try to locate. This for the time, got time for no day. One, too many, I'm going. Too crazy and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's into it, we left that. Can't remember anything, but I know we got lit. Good times. Live in the moment, feel like summertime. Obsessed with nature, not a world mine. The room is spinning, but I feel fine. Oh my. Chandelier, limousines. Really think I'm seeing things. Read the line in between. Yellow light, I gotta speed up. Get home to a cold shower. Need that pronto. Look like a rave at the condo. Heck of a night in Toronto. She said, boy, you in Morocco. Pearl white mention in the top gold. Fill up my cup with the pot, whoa. High off life in the spot, though. Running at the visa, really talking to a real life Mona Lisa. Jesus pieces hanging off the fleecer. So much going on, it's hard to focus on the features. I got too many, I'm going. Too crazy and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's into it, we left that.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, are the ads done? Good, maybe, hopefully. I hope so. I hate that. I really do. I hate that it just randomly pops up sometimes. To be fair, I think Twitch does have a little pop-up that tells me if I can delay it, but I'm obviously not looking at that dashboard, so. Anyways. But, yeah, guys, what was I saying? But, yeah, Stripe's really good. But PayPal's PayPal. They've been around forever. Dude, did you hear they were, like, losing a ton of money or something like that? And all of a sudden now I see PayPal ads, like, all the time on, like, YouTube and stuff like that. It's like, please use PayPal. Please, we beg of you. I mean, for the longest time, they were, like, if you needed to process money payments, they were pretty much the go-to, right? So, and now we have Stripe. We have all these other alternatives now. So, what's the other one that's pretty big? Square, right? Square you can do stuff with. I don't see Square used as much on websites. I see Stripe mostly used. I think Stripe's the go-to for right now, usually. But yeah, they're really good. And it's easy to use, too, for the most part, like, in the back end. You know what I mean? So, I like it. Alright, let's see. But, what was I saying? But other than that, yeah. I'm so glad we learned that. And that's the cool thing about, this is why I love coding, or streaming code, is other people that maybe watch this VOD or something like that, are like, hey, I'm trying to do Vue as well. And then they're like, oh, look, he made a mistake. And I will not make this mistake. You know what I mean? That's the cool thing about coding live. I love it. Because we see these mistakes happen, and then it's like, oh, how would this person have learned to fix it? You know what I mean? So, and I used AI to do that. So, but yeah, guys, like I said, if you haven't, definitely check out Codium. Free. You don't have to pay a dime for it. They make their money in the enterprise level. So, and that was a cool thing to learn about them too, is because that was a suspicion of mine, is like, wait a minute, why is this free? How are they paying for all this to work, you know? And then I was reading on their website, and they actually have a section on there of why it's free. And they go, well, we believe that this should be free. We make our money from the enterprise level. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So, but honestly, even if it was like, I'd pay $5 a month for this or something. Hell, I'd probably even pay 10, you know? But I think 5 would be pretty fair. But hey, if they want to give it for free, I'm not gonna argue. So, but yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. But what are you working on today, Don? Anything? Any projects or anything like that? All right, give me a second, guys. I gotta pause this music. All right, cool. Let's get back to it.
Case. So now we can use.
Oh, hold on.
page
Listen,
title
listen,
as
listen.
script. We use camel case. So
See?
now we
He
can
told
use
me.
page title and page
We use
content
camel
inside
case.
of our components template, so that we will have.
Oh, that part went
and
right over
then
my head
page
when I was
content.
listening.
And whenever we refresh the page, we are going to see our title and content change based upon the data that we passed to those props. So this is the first way. We are passing just simple string values. And it's important to remember that distinction because we can also use the vbind directive with our props, in which case we are binding some JavaScript expression to. But as you know, we don't have to say vbind, we can just use the shorthand, which is a colon. So in this case, if we wanted to use a string value, we would have to surround these with string delimiters, which in this case are just simple single quotes.
Okay. Why would we be doing that again? Oh boy. Did we just add an extra step for no reason? I feel like we did. Yeah. Okay, maybe he'll explain why we did that.
We refresh the page, we see the same result. But we want to be dynamic here so that we display the title and the content for the active page. So this is going to look somewhat similar to what we had before, except that now we are passing.
Right. Okay, so we're doing... Okay, so we got that pages. Then we're doing active page dot page title. Okay, and then down here, we're going to do pages content. All right, perfect. So if I do this and refresh, and I go about, home, perfect. See, that's a lot better. And I don't know if you guys caught that, but literally the AI kicked in and knew exactly what was coming next. That's what I'm talking about. AI is so cool. That makes sense because now we're able to pull from this pages array right here. So that makes sense.
This information as props. So whenever we go to the browser, we are going to see the same functionality that we had before. Homepage, about, and contact. That's great. However, I think that we can make this a little bit better. So
even better.
We have just a single prop that we can call page. And then we will pass in pages with the index of active page. So that inside of our components, we would then use the page title and content properties. So whenever we use page viewer, this is all that we have to supply. And then we just need to...
Oh, hold on. Okay, so we're going to get rid of these, I guess. Pages dot active page. Okay. Let me see what he's going to do down here. So page... Let's see, page, active pages. I assume it's just going to be page, right? That's the only prop that's coming in is that one. And then I assume we're going to do page dot title. And then I assume we're going to do page dot content, I think. Let's see if that works before he even gives us an answer. No, that's not correct. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how he's going to do this without watching it. So we're okay, what do we... We're pages... Unless this part's wrong. But I don't think it is. Let me go back and just make sure. Page equals pages, active page. Okay. That's what we're passing in as a prop. So I call it page. So, yeah, wouldn't that have worked? Or would it be like this dot page dot title? No. Interesting. Let's see. Console dot log page. Oh, can you not put a console log there? Really? Okay. Can I put it in here? In the template? No. Let's see. It's gotta be this props, I wonder. Maybe it would be like page data. Let me just give this a try. Save. No, it's not it either. Page dash title, pages, active page, dot type, page title. Oh. Is that what that is? Page title? It is. Okay. And then content. Save. No, that's not it either. Interesting. Page. Well, why wouldn't that work? Because if we're passing in, oh, but we're not passing it back up. That's the problem. Right. Okay, I'll watch what he's going to do.
We would then use the page title and content properties. So whenever we use page viewer, this is all that we have to supply.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't have an equals. Maybe that's what it was. That might have been it, folks. Pages equals pages. Let me try this again. Maybe that was the issue. Oh, that was the issue. Hey, okay, so I did know what I was doing. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, that worked. See? Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff. Cool. So now we just changed that property over to page. And then we're pulling in the object, and then we're saying what we want from that page. Nice. Good shit. All right.
Properties. So whenever we use...
See, I've learned how to do
viewer,
something.
This is
There
all
we
that
go.
we have to supply. And then we just need to update our page viewer component so that it has a page prop.
Ha!
It is
Nice,
going
called it.
to display the page title and then the page
content.
So
Nice.
just for a sanity check, let's go to the browser, refresh. Everything works exactly as it did before.
Damn
And
right.
So before we move on to the next lesson, let's just go over the key things about creating components, because this is important. Our applications are going to be full of components.
Yes.
So we create a component, we give it a name, and that component can have options. One option is the template. Another option is called props. Props are essentially the arguments for this component so that we can pass data to our components so that they can do whatever they need to do. In the case of this page viewer, it is simply outputting data. So we have a prop called page. We pass the active page as the page prop by using vbind, so that inside of the components, we can use that as an object to output the page title property.
Are you going to go to
and
sleep
the
now? All right, have a good one.
And so in the next lesson, we will create a component for
Get some good
our
sleep.
Matt just got final payment on his
just got
biggest
mad.
contract yet. And it was actually pretty easy.
I don't care about Honeybook. I don't use it. Don't need it. I don't make any money. I don't need it.
navbar. In the previous lesson, we extracted the function
All right, well, I'm glad we figured that out, guys, because that was getting a little frustrating. So, like I said, I had the right idea. I just messed up on that one thing. I forgot to put the equal sign in the beginning of the component thing. That one little thing right there caused that entire thing to crash. But we did kind of go over it, which was good, and then I kind of figured it out from there, which is nice. So, that's always nice. I like it. All right. What's it? 354. Hold on, give me a second. Trying to think of what time I need to be there tonight. I'm subbing for somebody tonight. Let's see. If I go at 5. Well, no, I don't want to go at 5. I want to get there a lot sooner than that. How much is left of this? It's about... How long is it? 104 to 10 minutes long. Almost. Understanding data flow. Okay. Tell you what, guys. Let me stop here because I do gotta go teach tonight, and I gotta get ready for that. I'm gonna stop here before we get into the next section, but, yeah. And then after we're done, because what we're gonna do next is we're gonna convert this nav bar into a component as well, and then we're gonna pass data back and forth. And then what we're gonna do is, then we're gonna go into the CLI tool. So, yeah, let me stop here, okay? And then don't think I'm going to be back on tonight. I don't think so. So I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll try to get on in the morning as well if I can tomorrow, but I'll have to be on tomorrow night. Yeah, because I got to go to the gym and I got to teach and then I need to work out. And that usually takes like a long time. So, yeah, I'm going to stop here. But this is good. It's working. I'm glad I was able to like look at this and debug it. Obviously, I had help from the AI on some of it. But yeah, we're learning. We're doing good. And like I said, this is a very old way of kind of doing Vue. We're not going to be doing this when we get to composition API, nor are we going to be doing this when we get to the CLI. So, but this is just a basic understanding of like how Vue works. So, it's a lot easier than this. So I can't wait to actually get to the CLI tool and when we get to the composition API. It'll definitely make things a lot easier for sure. So, alright guys, I'm going to bounce out of here right now, but I will see you all later on tonight. Well, no, not tonight. Maybe tonight, I don't think so, but if possible, I'll see you tonight. But if not, I'm definitely going to try to get on tomorrow morning. But either way, I'll definitely be on tomorrow night. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for the follows. I really do appreciate it. We're everywhere right now. We're on Kick, we're on YouTube, Twitch, we're everywhere. So definitely, I should have a link tree, and I literally put all my socials there. So Discord, everything. Definitely join up with the Discord server, by the way. It's always cool getting you guys in there and talking about, like right now, Josh and Kitty are sitting there talking about how to fix an issue she's having with their application. So, like, it's things like that that are really cool. So, like I said, join up, follow all the socials, and I will see you all later on. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. This morning and this afternoon was pretty good. I'm glad we got some hours of coding in today, or streaming and coding, which is really cool. I'm going to leave this stuff up. Usually now what I'm doing is I'm just pretty much leaving this stuff down here, and then I'm just coming back to it, so when I get home. But yeah, this was fun. I appreciate it, guys. What else was there? Was there anything else? I don't think so, yeah. But, alright guys, as always, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and I should be back on, like I said, either tonight maybe. I'm not counting on it, but definitely either tomorrow morning and definitely tomorrow night. So, I'm hoping I get home in the morning and I can just get like a few, like, an hour or two in before I gotta go to work, because it would be really cool. So, and then we definitely gotta continue with Diablo 4. I haven't played that in a little while. I've been trying to, like, balance it, too, where I'm not doing, like, 100 bajillion coding streams and no gaming, but I don't want to also, like, overdo it with the gaming and not enough coding. I want to try to get a happy balance for you guys, so, because most of you guys like gaming, and some of you guys like the coding, some of you guys like both, so I'm just trying to make sure I have some balanced content, and I've been actually, like, uploading stuff to my YouTube channel, and I finally been posting on TikTok, which is good, so... Yeah, and Instagram. So I'm getting there. I'm getting better at content creation. I'm trying. I'm getting better at it. A lot of this stuff to me is new. I'm used to just hitting the go live button and calling it a day. So, but that's not, you know what I mean? I got to put more effort and work into this stuff. And I just think because I don't really understand it that well, it's kind of like, oh, what do I do? You know, it's a little scary for me, but I'm learning, you know what I mean? So I'm going to get better with it, and I appreciate it. So, guys, as always, thank you for your patience, understanding. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all on the next stream. All right? All right, guys. Have a good day, or night, or whatever time it is for you. All right, bye.